So, welcome to M&M Tour.
My name's Mwila.
My name's Malunga.
Should we get into it, girl?
I think we need to because it's been a while.
It has. Back again.
And we have a special guest with us who is rubbing his eyes. We don't know what, got some dust in his eyes, but
they're just irritating
he's
right
still
now.
fly. He's still fly. We have Luke with us today, and we're just gonna have a chat as usual.
Awesome.
We're glad to just be here today and chatting to you guys. So, how are we all feeling? What's the mood? What's the vibe?
Do you know what? I'm feeling a bit like... I think I've been energized. Even though I don't look it, I look like I'm very...
No,
but
you-
inside, it's like everything is jumping in, up and down.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
You're bubbly.
Momentum
She's ready
is
to
going,
go.
yeah.
We like that.
Yeah.
We like that because I feed off a bubbly energy because I'm like that. But sometimes, I'm a bit chill, but I'm feeding
You're
off
feeding
your...
off my energy?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm liking that. What about... Looks like, what have I got myself into? Again. But you're back.
You're back.
I'm back, yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm always good, man. I'm breathing. Life's good. I got my health. That's the main things.
Yeah.
I'm
Amen.
very simple, innit?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
And what about yourself?
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
about to
yeah,
ask,
I was like-
Forget yourself.
Gotta ask about you,
Innit? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling, I'm just very grateful, just to be here. And yeah, I'm quite a simple person in that way. So yeah, I'm grateful and I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm going to get into, but I want you to get into it first.
Oh, ick. The ick. The ick of the week, guys. My ick is icking.
We might need to let Luke, what?
My
what's
ick
the
is icking.
Okay, express.
It's the ick.
Lord.
Okay, so I'm going to set the scene.
Say it.
Imagine you're on Hinge. You're single.
Shout out to Hinge. Shout out to Hinge.
You're messaging. Yeah. Hi, hey. You're so beautiful. Oh, thanks. Anyway, it goes into...
Luke, are you rubbing your eyes in frustration now, or is it?
I just started it. Carry on. Just let me just rub my eyes.
He's enjoying it. He's visualizing the conversation.
This was my tempo. This one's just rubbing my tempo. Just like, oh lord.
He's
So
already,
you
he's
start
already
chatting.
frustrated.
He's frustrated already.
Yeah, I'm
He's
already
like, where's this
frustrated.
going?
But yeah, go on.
So you start, you start talking. It's a nice chat, you even exchange numbers. That's even a big deal for me because sometimes the numbers don't even get exchanged, but they're exchanged now. So now you know my actual digits, oh gosh, I haven't said that term in a long time,
Yeah,
but yeah, you know my number. So we start talking. It's a good vibe. We say we're going to meet, bada. And we set the date, we set the time, and you're late. Not an hour late. Not 2 hours late.
What?
Not 3 hours late.
How late?
6 hours late.
Wow.
No.
By this time, I was back at home.
This seems a bit personal.
Yeah.
It is a personal one.
It's a
I'm
real
sorry.
story.
It's a real story. I told you.
truth.
I set
We
the
speak
scene.
truth.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other person. This person, if they ever watch it, be like, oh, that's me.
They know.
They know, you know yourself.
Yeah. So when you went home, what did you do?
So I went home, but I had already gotten ready and stuff. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just gonna
What
go
hour
on
did you
this
go
date.
home?
It was about like 3. I'm gonna say it was like
3 hours.
So, no. By the time I already knew he was going to be late.
Okay.
So he said he was going to be an hour late at this point.
Oh, so you haven't even gone to the venue?
We haven't gone anywhere.
Oh, you're still at the
So
yard?
I'm still, no. I was out and about doing my own thing.
Okay.
Then I was going to meet him.
These settings.
Yeah. So I was going to meet
Setting
him.
the scene.
Yeah, so you're,
And then
you're doing
he
your thing,
sent me a
running
message to
errands.
say he's going to be late. So I said, okay,
Errands
let me
gotta
go
keep
home.
running. Oh.
Yeah, no. I said, my errands are done for the
Okay.
day. So let me go home.
You went home.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I did my makeup nice. I even thought, let me, do more. Let me
Wait,
add.
is your makeup done already when you're doing the errands?
Yeah.
Oh, so your makeup's already on.
It's already done.
Let me do more.
But I said, let me do more. I'm going on a date today. Let
Yeah.
me make myself look beautified.
One thing about Mwila, is
More is more.
more is more, and it's 100%.
110.
You're yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm looking at myself. I said, oh, girl, you look good.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So I said, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm waiting. I called this guy. He's like, I haven't even reached the salon. I said, jeez.
He hasn't reached the salon.
Yeah, because he's going to do his hair. That's why he was late. He's got dreads. And
Right, even more personal. So now you know that. Peak.
We know who you are.
Cut the demographic.
cut the cameras.
Cut the demographic.
I didn't mean to say that.
more
He's got hair. He's got hair.
This guy has gone from having no hair to dreads. So every guy out there with dreads.
You know who you are. Okay.
He knows who he is, but now people go like, rah.
So yeah, it's like,
Dreads.
it was like pretty much 6 hours late, and I was just like, we still met up and we spoke, but it was definitely the last date, and I was just like, wow, is it desperado? Is it? Am I desperate that I'm waiting 6 hours for someone? What would you guys do? Would you advise for somebody to say, do you know what? We're not doing this.
But you didn't wait though. You were at yard. So it's
I was
not-
at yard waiting.
Yeah.
Did
she
you
was-
have wait? Okay, when you define waiting, is it just like you're just posted up in yard? Was there nothing else going on?
But waiting,
Regardless.
waiting is like an expectation. in
I
a
had an
way.
expectation.
Like mentally, she's still waiting. Even if she's at home, your day has paused.
Oh, pretty much.
She didn't do anything else apart from wait for this guy.
Okay, firstly, I wasn't.
But like,
firstly, I was doing this. I'm a productive
I had
woman.
things to do. But I mean, once you got home,
Yeah.
like you were still giving him a chance in terms of. That's why
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
It's a bit desperado on my part. I give this is a nick for me and the person.
Yeah,
to be
well,
honest.
I blame yourself in this because you waited. You gave him the opportunity. Like it could have. If it got to salon, you should just be like, all right,
Salon.
salon, whatever. How else you say the word?
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Why don't you just say let's just do this another day?
Reschedule.
Reschedule.
I know, but don't be 6 hours late. Come on,
Yeah, but
now.
I'm saying that
Respect
it's
me.
like, all right, both wrong on both parts. Like he should have said, you know what, this ain't working out. My day is not going how I planned.
Yeah.
Can we just reschedule?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's just gonna
true.
not pan out right.
It's
and you should have
true.
been like, all right, nah, I just
I'm
can't
not
do
on
it.
it.
I'm not on it.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
It's true. But would you guys give someone else a second chance?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, man.
6 hours.
If I wouldn't have gotten wait 6 hours. I would have just said, yeah, let's reschedule.
Let's reschedule.
And then you'll give them a second chance.
Yeah, just be like, yo,
What about you?
no.
I don't think she would.
I don't think she would.
I
don't know why you're thinking about it. I don't think you would.
I don't think you would
No,
actually.
I wouldn't. Back in the day, like my first ever relationship, that's why I can empathize.
Yeah.
Because my first ever relationship, I waited and waited. He did come, and when he finally arrived, and the date was amazing. Like I felt like he made up for that lost
Okay,
time.
that's good.
And obviously, we ended up in a relationship, whatever. But I wouldn't do that again, just because I feel like it's a sign that maybe it's just a sign, innit?
It's like on both parts, isn't
You're
it?
not really reading too
Yeah.
much into
Yeah,
it.
no,
We're
it's a
reading
sign.
into
It's
it,
actually no, it's a
but my
sign.
answer is, yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, I'm never doing that again
Yeah.
a day in my life. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll even wait 10 seconds.
10 seconds
Anymore.
now, you're like,
So wait, would you offer a reschedule or would you just date it?
I think I just did it, you know.
Fair enough.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
And also, I don't even know, like, my dating situation right now is just so... Sometimes I want to
Yeah,
date,
like everyone.
sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm
She's
like...
single, guys.
huh?
What?
Oh,
I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them.
yeah, she's single. Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah,
si-
that
I'm sick of men
single
at this
right
point.
now.
Right.
Right now. Oh yeah.
But you
we
never
don't know.
know.
We
I'm
don't know
very
when it's
single.
recorded.
We never know.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Oh, we just don't know what's going on.
We
But
don't know.
I might be single till I'm 40, guys. Who knows?
wow.
No.
Wow. Oh wow.
We love a trier and we try. We try. And
I don't want to try anymore. I'm tired.
Wow.
I'm very tired.
Oh wow.
But anyway, that's my ick. Sorry, we went into it.
No.
That's my ick, guys. That's
It's
my
good
ick.
to advise on the icks as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Who's
Maybe who?
going
I might be
next?
able
with
to-
the
You are.
icks?
I don't say
Look,
this word.
You do say the
I'm
word.
not saying the word. I'm
By the
refusing.
time it's the 5th episode, you
Yeah.
could be saying the
I'm not
words.
saying the word. I refuse to say this word.
Yeah. One of my icks would probably be.
You don't have one.
Yeah, I think you need to circle back to me.
Circle back to-
Yeah.
Luke, go
I'm
on.
Sorry.
All right, my one. I'll just be real. I'm not a fan of time management. If your time management's poor, like I'm also like, just call it off.
But you just said you'll give them the second chance.
Yeah, but that's if they tell me like beforehand. Like, all right, in terms of time management, this is probably personal to this person. It applies to if we say we're gonna go. I've got poor social battery. If I go
does.
somewhere. And I've done my laps. I've said hello.
He don't have patience like that.
You don't want
No,
to
I've got patience, but I'm just like I haven't got a lot of small talk in me. I haven't got enough of how's the weather, what do you do, and there's only so many times I can hear that. Like I don't think I'm that party guy because I'll ask deep questions at a party, and I may ruin the vibe. Like I may just be like, yo, so where'd you lean, Labour or Conservative? Like how's your taxes
Okay.
going?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask deep question. Get you probably thinking about things you didn't want to think about at a party.
Yeah, fair.
And
Some parties are made for that.
maybe they are, but I don't think people want me at that type of party. So,
You're being nice, but yeah, continue.
so if we say like, if I go to someone, I'm like, all right, I'm going with you. How long you looking to spend? All right, 3 hours. Cool. I'm a plan mentally for 3 hours. As soon as it hits the 3 hour mark,
Oh, you're one of those people.
I'm that.
That's why I'm saying he's not as patient, because even on our way here, Luke, you're very specific.
Yeah.
And it's like, if someone was even 3 hours and 30 minutes, I know he's ready. He's already in the car.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. So check
Really?
this. Yeah. So
Yeah.
check this. I used to go.
But parties are not time bound.
not
They
even
are.
parties, but
Alright,
let's
so
say
check-
you're going
yeah.
shopping. Like,
No,
let's
no,
say
no.
you're
Shopping
going-
is not time bound.
Shopping. I'm a bit more flexible. I'm talking about parties. So if I go to a rave, so say, so back in the day, I used to go raving with my boys, as we all do. This is how bad it used to get. We used to go to a rave, and I think the party's dead. I've done my laps. Speaking to, obviously, I was single. Speaking to the girls, got numbers. I'm done. I look at my boy. My boy, you know, he's the driver. He's like, I'm not
Enjoying
done.
himself.
He's like enjoying himself. He's got wines. He's got things pre-planned. He might have an after party.
So midwine, you're saying, let's go.
I'll tap him to say let's go. He could tell me no. He might say yes. If it's yes, I know the party's dead. If it's no, the party for him is still going on. I'm gonna get a train. I'm gonna get an Uber. I'm gonna find my own way home. I'm gonna do something. Sometimes it got to a point where obviously we have a group chat. My boys be like, "Where's Luke?" And I'll be like, "I'm home." They're like, "Oh, why you say bye, bro? I didn't even know that you left." I'm like, "I got cut in it. I've had enough. I used to just leave. I've had enough." But time management is where I'm just like, I'm done.
No.
So the
fair.
person saying, like, telling you the amount of time and then they go overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, fair. Fair.
I don't mind tardiness to a certain extent, but
It's quite rigid.
yeah, it's quite
Specific.
yeah.
What about you, man?
Yeah.
My ick would be, I've got it. When.
By the way, that was an
Ding.
ick. I've been irritated. I will not say this. I'm a stand by it. I do not have
Let's
an
just
ick.
explain.
I get irritated.
An
Irritated.
ick is like
Irritation.
something that's pressing
I don't really
you
care.
a
I just don't
bit.
like the word. Matter of fact, the word irritates me.
That's your ick.
So his ick is the word ick. But yeah, something that annoys you, disgusts you, has you pressed,
Whatever.
just has you
Pressed.
frustrated.
Irritated,
has you
annoyed.
Irritated and annoyed. Okay.
Just use the English language. Stop cutting it.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
sorry.
I think that's the second ick.
Yeah, double.
You're just going for one. Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of,
We could go. There's a lot of things going on over here. Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll cool him down. My ick is when, let's say you go to a restaurant, yeah, and they don't bloody have they don't have what's on the menu.
I'm not.
I don't mind that.
annoys
That's
me.
never
No.
really.
So I've got an example. I went out for my friend's birthday recently. I took her to this like new spot we wanted to check out. I specifically wanted to go there for the fish. That's why I was going there, because I saw it on Instagram. I was like, oh, they do this fish and it looks really good. I went there and they didn't have the fish. And I was just really annoyed, because in my mind, it's like,
Do they have other alternatives?
yeah, but it wasn't hitting the same. I know that what I wanted would have actually, like, that's what I wanted.
So
And I didn't get it. So it's annoying. It's an irritation, an ick for me when I go somewhere and they don't have what they should have on the menu.
okay, but is the restaurant you went for, is it known for that fish?
Yeah, it's like one of their mains. It's like one of their mains.
That's what they advertise.
But as their mains, is that like their core thing?
It's
Like,
a seafood
It's
restaurant.
it's not their core thing. No.
it's not their core thing, but it's not like, all right, I'm just trying to figure out.
No, don't. My ick is valid. Yeah,
I don't know if
Because
it
they
is.
didn't- It is.
Like,
it
if it's
is.
popular, it's obviously gonna go first.
No, that's true. But by the
But they
time
should
we
make
got
more.
there,
They should have
and yeah, and also by the time we got there, it's not like we got there super late. We got there when the restaurant was like even just about opening, kind of thing.
This is
So-
how I know I'm not a foodie, because
Yeah.
that wouldn't irritate me at all.
Yeah, I'm not. No,
Not at all.
Not
I
at
wouldn't
all.
mind. It gives me an opportunity to try something new.
To venture out.
Venture out.
Or just go to a new restaurant.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Just be like, all right, cool. You lost a
But
customer.
do you know
Next
what
time.
it is? I know what it was. You had something in mind, and you could sometimes when you have a feeling for something and then you don't get it, it can get annoying.
Yes.
It can.
That's your issue.
That's what it is.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
not the restaurant. That's what it is.
It's the restaurant.
It's the restaurant. Okay, fair enough.
No,
I think
the
it's what,
food
how
was-
you eloquently put it. Just like
It was the restaurant
I
too.
mean, the food was good as well, but yeah, that's
okay,
my.
fair enough.
But you enjoyed the food.
Yeah, in the end, it was a good experience overall.
Okay.
But not good enough that I would go back actually. So
Oh,
Not even for the fish.
no.
wow.
Okay. Well,
One
Okay.
strike, one strike.
that's right. Are you lot proper one strikes?
I think
Not really.
am.
I think I'm quite open.
You just said you wouldn't reschedule. Like you both are one strike and done.
Well,
It's not true.
it depends on the person.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay, so now we're
Let's
open.
be honest. We know those
purely-
people. We know those people we might give a couple of chances. Not
Couple?
even a couple, like a few.
A few.
I'm like baseball.
Everyone has that person. You know that person that you'll just be patient for, and you'll be like, all right, fine.
No, I got 3 strikes. You're done.
3 strikes and you're out. Okay,
Yeah,
baseball.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Fair, fair.
Cool. That's cool.
Okay, so what are we talking about today? What is the hot topic?
Yeah, why you got me down here
Why have we got Luke in our present?
again?
I mean, today, you know, you tell the people.
You tell it. I tell the people. I tell the people. So, yeah, recently we've been chatting a little bit, or we've been thinking about like the feminine, the masculine energy, like what makes us who we are, but also just trying to understand. I know we've touched on dates a little bit in your X story, whatever, but it would be good to know, like, we have a man in our presence.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's how you identify, right? He, him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, just clarifying. So we have a man in our presence.
Oh wow. yeah.
And and it would be good to know, just like in terms of vulnerability,
Okay.
how you express that and if you're comfortable to, because I think vulnerability is something that's quite layered.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone deals with that differently, but from a man's perspective, it would be good to just
What does it mean to you?
Yeah, what does
really,
that
to
mean
start
to
off?
you?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what does vulnerability mean to you when we say that word or say that term?
Kind of like I take it as the definition, like just showing weakness. Like if I'm vulnerable, I've shown you a weakness. So if I'm Superman, I've told you, hey, it hurts when someone has kryptonite around me. That's what I see it as.
Weakness is an interesting word.
That's what it means, though, in the dictionary.
So what does weakness mean to you? What does weakness mean to you?
Weakness means like something that knocks me off my stool, something that just like knocks me off what I normally earn, like that, you know, trips me in my stride.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with being in that space when you feel knocked off? Like, do you have a way of getting yourself back? Do you have people you talk to?
It depends on like what's kicked me off. So it depends on. So I'm sure, for instance, a lot of us, death is something that is quite, you know, just quite worrisome in terms of someone close to us dying. If that happens, it depends on how close that person is. Obviously, if it's distant relative, it's like, oh, my dates, I've missed that opportunity. If it's someone that is close to me, it kind of means the end of that story. It means that I've got to close the chapter. It means that there's nothing more that's going to come. So I've got to treasure what we had. So in those regards, it's like I've got to embrace that, and it might just mean time. In the past, it might have meant something worse than just time, but now it's like I'm a bit older. It's like, all right, it's just time. So yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
it's quite deep.
That was really deep.
Yeah.
How so? How was that deep? Ain't that for a majority of people? Like, how would you do it for yourself?
Do what?
Like something. All right, let's just use death for example because it's quite,
Yeah.
you know, it happens to everyone, and we all.
Remember like that.
It happens to everyone. So I'm assuming that is a generic weakness for everyone. So how would, you know, that would knock your stride? That would, you know, that would generally ruin someone's day. Like you hear someone close to you has passed away.
I think my first instance would be to kind of call someone, like call my best friend, most likely. Yeah, 100%, definitely. And I think with women, we interact in a way like healing comes from like, because it's interesting that you didn't say anything about like, obviously you might contact people around you, but it felt like it was a solo journey for you in that sense of that healing process of like time. You didn't really dive into it too much, but you answered first before.
No, go, continue. I'm listening.
Yeah, no, because I wanted to, I was just saying, like, it feels like it's quite solo, whereas I feel like with women, we often go and, you know, we talk face to face, we find space in each other to, get comfort. Whereas for you, I didn't hear that. So I just wanted to know more about that and also hear what yours would be too before we move forward to hear what Luke had to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think people are vulnerable in different ways, but for me, vulnerability is like showing someone that I can't do something, because I like to, so for me, that's my form of vulnerability. I have plenty more, but off the top of my head, yeah, like when I reveal that there's something I'm struggling with or I'm not that confident in, that I can't really do, that's like revealing a weakness. So I agree, like I would say that it's a weakness in a sense, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, because I think when we think of weakness, we think that it's a bad thing, but it's okay to sometimes be weak and need that support. So yeah, like, I've been in a longer term relationship, and I had to bring myself to that point where I wasn't just how I am now, like done up, bubbly, like, on the first dates and stuff, you're like, woo, you're showing the best version of yourself, right? Then you get to a point where you can no longer do that. Like you can't, it's not like you're pretending, but you just can't put on that face anymore. And then there's another layer. And getting to that point isn't easy for me. But I think if I trust someone enough and it's over a certain amount of time, then I'm happy to be a bit more vulnerable. But other than that, I wouldn't say it comes easily.
But in terms of like something's knocked you off your stride, so something's been revealed or made you vulnerable, are you like me? Like, do you gravitate to people?
No.
You're solo dolo as well.
I'm similar to Luke, yeah. And it's so interesting.
Go on, you go.
No, why? Because you would say, because obviously we've been friends for ages. But
You're solo dolo. Okay.
Well, are you surprised by that?
Yeah, I am. So I don't. Are you sure you're solo dolo?
No, we're like, we know you, girl.
Are you sure? You sure you're solo dolo?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
You sure?
Do you know why? Because I know that I'm quite good at putting on a brave face and like being a bubbly, like people in general, like I know what role I play in most settings. So I'm quite good at that. I'm also an actor, singer, dancer, performer. I'm joking. But yeah, but like
That's thespian.
I'm a thespian. So you get good at playing certain roles and you almost feel not embarrassed, but you're just not used to showing that other side. So sometimes I just deal with something by myself first. And then when I'm ready to talk about it, I'm only expressing it because by then I've kind of dealt with it a little bit. And then I'm now opening up about it.
Okay.
Not all the time, not for
So
everything.
but you eventually come to people. Okay, fair enough.
Do you?
No.
So you never...
It would never be like so. It could slip out years later. Years. Like
Slip out as well. Imagine you're just eating and then Luke.
yeah, it's
You know that time 5 years ago?
yeah, it happens like
10
it
a.m.
happens in like like when you speak to like your parents
Yeah.
and they're like, yo, yeah, I was adopted. And you're like, what? Hold on, what?
That's
Stuff
the kind of parent he'd be, clearly.
Yeah, that's like my dad. He's like that. He's just like, oh, he drops like a truth bomb about like our family that's happened years ago, and I'm like, okay, clearly you've lived a secret life, and I don't know nothing about our family. But no, it may slip out by accident. Like someone be like, oh, Luke, like where were you like a couple of years ago? But maybe I checked myself in rehab, and I'm like, oh, stuff like that. Nothing. I haven't checked myself into rehab. Nothing like that. But use that as an example.
I know,
But it's
get it,
funny
yeah.
because on the way here, Luke was like, obviously we know death isn't like a funny thing, but it's a hard thing, right?
Yeah.
But Luke was like, yeah, I'll be one of those people that it's like I die and nobody knows. Like it's like I'm dealing with something no one knows, and they're just like, oh, he gone. Like, oh, he. Like, how did you say it? You said it in a way that was just
I said it in a way
hilarious.
like I think it comes from it comes in a place of like not being a burden. So if I reveal some sort of vulnerability, I have to sometimes I over calculate. Can this person handle it? Do I need to share it?
Okay.
I'm thinking all these things. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it to myself. And then it'll be like, I've kept it so much to myself. I might just pass away. And I'm like, I haven't been a burden to anyone. It's like, oh, what happened to Luke? Oh. And then like doctor comes out and it's like, oh, you know, he was dealing with this issue, and he's dead now. He's like, oh snap, you didn't tell anyone. So
that's yeah. But
so do you feel like you learnt that from your dad?
I think it's sad to say, but I think it's a very male thing to do. Like, so it's the hats that I've had to wear. So I've had the conversation with my dad about this. Is like one time, I was like, how old was I? I was 12 years old, and my younger brothers I got two younger brothers. They were doing something, but because I'm older, I wasn't allowed to do it. And I just remember like crying to my dad, like, why can't I do it? They are allowed to do it. I want to be able to do it. And when I was like, you're the older brother, you can't do what they do.
So he put that kind of...
Yeah, so I've had to wear that hat of an older brother. I have to set a standard. I can't do what you lot do. You're younger. And then it's like, all right, cool. I talk to other people. It's like, all right, I have to be a leader in something. I can't do what they're doing. I have to set a standard. So sometimes I feel that because I have to wear these hats, and these hats are a sense of reliability, I can't sometimes look weak. I have to remain somewhat strong. So, yeah, that's where it's come from.
So
Interesting that
Yeah.
It's interesting that you used the word burden as well previously, in that kind of sense of not wanting to, it's quite caring, because you're kind of caring for the person beforehand, but you don't realize that could also be doing the opposite in some sense.
Kinda. It's like,
Or
so
is it a protective thing?
yeah, you kind of see it. I see it more protecting, because it's like, say if like Malunga called me and was like, oh, can you drop me to the airport? And I'm like, cool. If I'm late, Malunga has the right to be mad at me because she has to get on the plane. I have now taken on Malunga's burden. I'm now thinking, I'm Malunga.
Okay.
I have to make sure she's on time. I have to get to hers at enough time so that we can get to the airport for her. If I'm late, I've got that burden on me. Like, I personally don't like people to have too much of a burden. For me, it's like, we all have problems.
Stress,
Yeah, we all have problems, and so I don't want your problems, and I wouldn't want you to have my problems.
Yeah, no, I
so
see that.
I'm not trying to pass them on.
I've never heard it like that before, you know. Yeah, but go on.
No, I'm laughing because I feel like guys do this a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna grill you guys.
Yeah, grill away.
Because you love to keep it light. You guys need to stop that. Like anything that's pressing or feels like a burden or feels like too heavy.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like it's too much, and then, you know, they either want to like, okay, yeah, it's my cue to leave or whatever. Yeah. What do you think about that?
You mean
like,
when you're just to get clarity, when you're sharing something, you feel like men can feel like it's too much and want to leave, or they don't, or when they're sharing something, they
both ways. Like they don't. Firstly, I don't think a lot of men that I've, you know, that are in my life, they don't share like that anyways. They're similar to Luke. They're very similar to Luke. And there's not a lot of men in my family. So, yeah, I feel like whenever it gets a little bit deep.
Too deep for the intro.
It's almost like...
Yeah, change track.
Change track. And maybe they have that kind of view or that thinking that this is too heavy and it feels like a burden. Because I feel like burden is a little bit of a negative word.
No, but it's loaded.
Yeah.
It's very loaded.
What do you mean?
It's a heavy weighted word. Like when you think of the
baggage. Change it to...
Baggage is even... exactly what I'm saying. But it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. To have a burden is not necessarily a bad. It's just it's just a state of a word. It's not like I'm putting a negative or positive on that word. I'm just saying that if you've got if someone's a burden, they're a burden that's not got any onus onto it. Do you get what I mean?
No, but I disagree.
Because our children burdens.
They are burdens. They are a burden.
But they also bring so much life into people's life.
But this is the thing. No one said that what I'm carrying is good or bad. I still got to carry it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't got. It can still be heavy.
It can be good for me, but I still got to carry it.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It can be heavy and light.
Like for instance, if I was carrying a bottle of water, like it's heavy.
Yeah,
but it's still good for me.
But do you feel like, this is heavy, so such a bad thing?
Or
do you feel like this is heavy, such a good thing?
I'm like, this is heavy. That's what I'm thinking. This is heavy.
Yeah.
But what
The
I'm
way he's saying it, like, ultimately, with this word, if somebody said I was a burden,
Yeah.
today, if somebody said I was a burden,
yeah.
that is a negative word to me. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to.
But what-
I don't want to hear. Oh, I don't. You know,
I
you've
get
got
you.
a bit too much baggage or a burden, and I felt like that in certain situations where, let's say, like maybe even like financially, I'm not in that. Like, which is why obviously I know now there's certain things I don't do with certain people because I don't want to feel.
Like a burden.
Like
Like a
if I'm
burden.
around them, it's an issue, a problem, a burden, a baggage, whatever we're gonna call
But
it.
at one point, we've all been burdens to someone.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm
and
still a
it's not
burden to
nice,
other people.
and it's not a nice feeling. It's
But
not a nice
it's
feeling.
part of life. You're gonna be a burden to someone.
Yeah,
So then
but I think
did
it's
you-
important.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's important that how do we make someone feel when they're going through certain things? Like if someone's being vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
Let's say right now, I start crying.
Yeah.
Not like that, you know.
Not
and
me
I,
laughing.
and I just like out of nowhere, something's just too much, and I just think of something that happened yesterday, yeah.
Yeah.
And I start crying. Now that's me being vulnerable.
Yeah.
But if the person that I'm sharing it right now, if used to just started making me feel
Uncomfortable.
like making me feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
and like it was too much,
Yeah.
that's gonna upset me.
So do
'cause
you feel
I'm being
that?
vulnerable with
you-
you.
Wait,
Do
time
you
out.
feel that though?
Hold
Do
on.
you feel like if you're gonna be vulnerable with somebody and you don't want to be a burden, are you worried about? Is there a fear around not feeling safe in that space to be open with people?
No, it's more like, can you carry this burden as well? Is this something you can
He
carry?
did say he assesses people.
Like,
yeah.
if like, for instance, let's think about an elephant. Elephant is a beast of burden. It carries a certain amount of weight on its top. A horse is a beast of burden. It can carry humans. Can a horse carry what an elephant carries? No. So sometimes I may look at a person, could be male, could be female, whatever, and I could think, can they handle this? Like, am I
What is
great?
the assessment though?
It depends on what it is. It could be like.
But that's what my point is, like, Bats, because we didn't answer my question. Sorry.
Sorry, what's
We
your
didn't
question?
answer my little story anecdote.
Sorry, what's your anecdote?
I segued.
Now I feel like a burden. I'm joking.
She segued. Sorry,
No,
sorry,
sorry,
sorry.
sorry.
No fair.
Sorry.
But like, yeah, if I broke down, started crying now,
Yeah.
you can't. The thing is, you can't always plan certain things.
Yeah.
What is? I don't want to feel like a burden, right? So to you, right now, what would your reaction be? Like, would you be feeling if I started crying now?
Yeah.
Would you be feeling like
Yeah, you're
I'm a burden
Yeah.
for doing that?
Would you?
What's the first thing I'm thinking? Why is she crying? I'm already thinking, what problem is going on? I'm already trying to assess, like, Malunga's got a problem. She's crying. Something's happened. Something's triggered her. What is going on? There is a problem. There is a burden that she's going to pass on to me. Can I handle this? Am I capable of handling this? Am I aware of what's going on? Am I aware of what's triggered? That's.
But I think it's the word is triggering
what?
because I
What
think,
burden?
Yeah,
Baggage.
I know. I said before previously
This
that it
word
doesn't
is
have.
gonna-
But it's It is a loaded word. It is a negative word. I'm sorry. I'm going back on
It's
myself.
not negative. It's reality.
It is a reality as well. But then it's also like when you
Well-
say it, I hear what you're saying in many senses of like she's holding something that's a burden to herself. But then when you're holding it, when you then receive it, it's like, can I handle that?
Yeah,
And I
she's
think-
unloaded it onto me.
But then,
But it's not like unloading. It's almost like, can you like? How do you take care of that?
But
Do you
I'm
get what I mean?
curious.
Unload, carry, all the words,
yeah, but
all
then I'm
synonyms.
curious. Then, how would you deal with that?
How would you take
you're
care
telling
of
me
that?
the thought process. I get it.
Trust.
But how would you deal with that in
Trust
that
comes
moment?
into it.
Trust, okay.
Trust comes into it.
Expand.
All right, for instance, Superman. We're just gonna use that because it's just an easy thing. He's vulnerable to kryptonite. Who's the one person he told? He told Lois Lane. He trusted Lois Lane. He built up a rapport. He started off as Clark Kent. He, met her. Built her up.
I love Superman.
I don't know the
You don't know Superman? Oh my days!
I do know.
So simple. Oh my days!
No, I do.
Superman, Lois Lane.
No, I know.
His
I know the
secret identity is
characters, I
Clark
know.
Kent.
Yeah. I know. Sorry.
He trusted her. First he told her, Clark Kent. He was like, "Oh, I'm feeling you." She's like, "I'm feeling you too." All right, babes, I'm Superman. All right, cool. I'm allergic to kryptonite. He built up that trust. It didn't just come day and night. Like, you build rapport with people. You realize what people can carry. I'm sure that there are friends in my life know that I can't carry certain burdens, and that's fine. But it doesn't change anything between us. They know what I can and can't carry. they know, all right, financially, if I'm going through some financial issues, all right, I can call Luke. If I'm going through emotional issues, maybe Luke's not the best person, I should call this person. Or if I'm going through these types of issues, I'm going to go call another person. It might not be Luke. Like, it's fine because you built up that trust. I know if I'm being emotional like my mum and my dad, I'm not going to my dad. My dad's not the most emotional person. I'm going to go to my mum. My mum's going to, you know, be more...
Do you think women are more emotional?
Yeah.
I think so.
Next question.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, why? Yeah, yeah, we're on a roll. Okay, so you're saying and
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Do you know,
that's it.
in what way? In what way?
Like, we've already said it.
What?
I
With
feel like
what?
men can have a logical way of thinking about certain things. So their mindset is like, how do I get... So I've heard this a lot, and I don't know if it's true for every man, but like they might think, oh, how do I get from... What is the result to supporting that person? Rather than it's like, let me just let them to express. Maybe the result is just the expression in itself, and there isn't like there isn't a way of fixing it. But I feel like for many men, it's like they're taught to fix things. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're crying, if you're breaking down, how am I going to fix this? Can I fix this?
Yeah.
Am I capable of fixing it? That's why I feel like
It's more of a practical
with women,
thing,
we're
rather.
kind of more like, okay, let's create a space that you can just...
Sorry.
I
What do you
kind
mean? Do you disagree?
No. It's just, you know, we just hear that phrase, safe space. It's just, yeah.
What, you don't like the safe space?
he's triggered by that word.
I'm not triggered. I know you just...
Burden, safe space. Why?
No,
Why are you triggered by
you
safe
just
space?
you hear it so much at
It's
work
true.
and everywhere. It's like, oh, I've been trying to get
No,
a
what
safe
don't
space.
create a safe space?
I know, but it's funny when they send the email like, this is a safe space. Everyone can tell us their grievances.
know that it's
and then
not.
next thing you know, someone's got a P45. You're like, what? I guess it weren't that safe. You know, they're like, tell us
Tell us your issues.
Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what we're doing wrong at this job. And someone's like,
This is what it's...
sends the email from the actual work laptop, and they're just like, yeah, it's John. And John just, yes, you know.
John's been fired.
You gotta send it from another.
John's packing his bags.
Bro, these times everyone's on a
John's going into
VPN.
the office. He's going into the office.
Just keep coming for John, but
I'm just saying, isn't it? You get them safe space and you get a P45 next week.
But in
Yeah.
relationships, you have to find safe space in relationships. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to have especially if it's like intimate relationship, you have to have a safe
Safe
space.
space. Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
need a partner who's going to allow me to create a safe space for them.
What,
and
wait,
for
time
me
out.
to-
Can we just elaborate? What do you think? What is safe? Because I think a lot of times people think a safe space is I get to say whatever I want and there's no repercussions.
No.
So, okay.
what would
A
you
safe
say?
space to me is more like I can be who I truly am, like you were saying before. Like I can let go of all of those things that I've put up in
share.
front of other people, or when I go into different environments, I've got this face on. And when I'm with you, it's like there's no face. Everything's been stripped away. You know me at my core,
Okay.
and I know that when I share something with you, I know that it's not gonna come back at me. It's not gonna be used against
That's
me.
no repercussions. That's what I'm saying. That's another thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, all right, so what I consider a safe space, I don't think they exist. I think it's a term or like it's a fantasy. It's like if you to ask me, do I look fat and stressed? And I go, no. But in deepest, but if not, you look fat and stressed, and I go, yeah. And it's like, all right. It's safe because I'm allowed to say what I'm allowed to say unfiltered and have no repercussions. But people want that I can say whatever I want and the other person doesn't get to feel however they feel.
I disagree.
You think
So are you saying you would lie?
I'm not saying, no, I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing in the analogy. I'm saying in this scope, safe space, people are allowed to just go through the emotions. So if you say, oh, do I look fat in the dress? And I go, yes, you do. I should be
But if
allowed
I
to.
have a safe space with you and you say yeah, why would I feel an issue about that?
Some people aren't ready for that. Unless you like, I don't know. This is why I think it's a fantasy. I don't think it exists. I've quote unquote, as we just said, never experienced a quote unquote safe space.
You haven't?
Nah,
Really?
I don't think so.
What does that look like to you then?
A safe, I just feel that it should just be unfiltered. I don't think it needs to be
But then it's
safe.
but then it's the way you say it. It's
See?
the way you
So
say it because
that's
for
not
me,
safe then.
What do you mean it's not safe?
I gotta say it a certain way. Why can't I just say it unfiltered?
No, because I think saying it unfiltered to me is like you're not being as sensitive. I think there's a thing of, for men, I know we're saying women are quite emotional, but I think men are actually very emotional.
Yeah, true.
I think there's
Yeah.
both. But
Everyone's
men
emotional.
are just very good at concealing it, or it comes out in different ways. I've had experience where I can tell my brother's like actually very emotional, but he might just take it out in a way that's very different to what I will express it.
Yeah.
There's some guys that are actually very insecure. That might come out in a way that's like, you're not wearing that dress, or what time are you home? So
Wait,
don't know.
what
We're-
I'm trying
we're
to-
getting off topic.
it's on topic, because it's like it's talking about the elements of like, firstly, how you process things, but emotionally how you reveal yourself and that vulnerability. If someone is talking to me in a very unfiltered way,
Yeah.
and they're saying it in a way that's quite insensitive with a certain tone, to me that's not a safe space. But
there is.
no, but like
No, it
Perception.
depends.
it's perception. No, I
This
get
is
it.
this is what I'm saying.
But I'm happy for someone to share what they consider is their truth, right?
Mm.
They might say, yeah, you do look a bit, you're not looking as, oh, do I look nice? No, I'm not really
What
looking.
she's saying is right.
But to me, if they're saying it in a way that is
Loving.
and
Caring.
it's coming from a good intention, I
Yeah.
can feel that.
Yeah.
If someone says to me, why are you looking like that today, or why are you wearing that?
You know that the
That to
intention-
me is unfiltered, it's rude, and it's not sensitive. If they say to me, you know what, your hair like that, I like your hair like this, there's a difference. There is a difference. I'm sorry to say. I'm not sorry to say.
This
There's a
this
difference.
is why I say, and I stand by it, I don't think there's a safe space. I feel that it should just be unfiltered. If I feel this way and I want to express it, should not be safe.
Okay, and then the
And
same
then
goes the other way around then.
Exactly. But the
Okay.
thing is, this is what I'm saying. It's not gonna be taken away. A lot of times we enter these quote unquote safe spaces, safe rooms, whatever people want to call it, and you don't feel safe. You feel guarded. You feel you have to, as you said, I've got to say it a certain way. I've got to filter. That's not how I want to say it. I want to say it unfiltered. I want to say it how I want to say it. My intentions may not want to hurt you, but this is how I want to say it. This is how I want to feel.
And that's how you express yourself.
And that's how I want to
So
express.
what happens to all those feelings when you don't have a space to filter them in?
You just write them down. You just bottle it up. You're a man. I don't know. I don't know. It's different ways in which people deal with them. I know when my mate's going through something, I know that he just wants people around. Sometimes it just might be, I'm going through something. I don't want words to be said. I don't want to speak about it.
Yeah.
I just want people around. I want certain people that are gonna just calm me down. I know other people, they want to express it. I know for most guys, it might be, yo, bro, let's play some FIFA, or let's just go play a game of football or play some pool. Like I just want to be out the house right now. I'm like, cool, let's do that.
Would you say that your friends know when you're quite vulnerable, or you're in a space that's not the Luke that we know?
Probably
they know?
not. Probably
No?
not. I wouldn't say my friends. I don't think there's many people that would know. I don't think there's signs. I think that's another thing. I don't think for most guys, I don't think there's like clear cut signs that say, yeah, he's going through something right now.
But for you?
I think for myself, no.
So
In the
do you
mic,
just
yeah.
make that conscious decision
Yeah.
to
'Cause I'm like,
tell
I wanna-
people?
Yeah, you might have to sit forward if you want to. Yeah.
To tell people, I don't think I do. I don't like. I think the people around me know what is going on, but I think those internal battles are very internal. I just keep them to myself, and yeah, I don't think, if I'm gonna like generalize, I don't think most guys out there vocalize in terms of alright, I think in terms of like how girls do, I don't think they vocalize to one another like, oh right, I'm going through something, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. I think we do it in a different way. It may just be like, I just need to be around some people. I need to know how to actually I messed up. I do vocalize it, but I do it in a weird way. I do it in a way of, I'm gonna say it, but I'm not really saying it. I may do that whole like, oh, I've got a friend, he's going through something, how would you deal with it with the man then? I may do it like that. I may not say it's me, because I don't want you to be worried about me as well, but I may do something else.
Oh, so you say it, but in a roundabout
Yeah,
way.
saying
It's
a
not
roundabout.
like specific to.
I think if it's serious, there's been a few times where like I've called a man them up, but like, yo, let's just go gym together, and we go gym, and it may come out like in between sets, but like, yo, bro, I'm going through something right now. I'm fighting some stuff, and then that's when it's like serious. But when it's just like you're going through some things, I may go for a roundabout way, just made to like make it sort of light-hearted than what it needs to be.
Would you say? Because I'm wondering if. For men, they obviously you're working out or you might do certain things to let off steam. But would you say that maybe there's a bit more of a need for conversations amongst men, like to sit down, like the same way us girls might do that? Would you say that there's a need for that kind of space, or would you say that, yeah? What would you say about that?
To say a need, I think, probably not. I think for most guys, it's like you probably have a few close people that you can talk to, and I don't know. I'm just thinking from my own experience. Like I know if I'm going through something, I've got maybe like 10 guys to my name or in my contact list. I know I can call that are going to be reliable. Obviously, majority of them are like family, and a few of them are friends that I've built up a great rapport with, and I feel that that's more than enough. I don't think you want to display your vulnerability with so many people, because obviously if so many people know your weakness, it's hard to pinpoint. You just want a small handful to let them know, like, right, I'm going through something, I just need a little bit of help.
It's interesting though, because I've been reading, like, there's a few articles on like men in general underperforming
Underperforming what?
in just society. I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Like, where are these? No, and I don't
where
know.
are these underperforming men?
Yeah, like apparently, like
Oh, okay.
I need to. We're definitely gonna get back to this conversation with some more facts.
And some more
But
men.
but there has been this talk about like masculinity and
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
yeah,
being
yeah.
questioned a little bit. But then
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
women are going ahead in so many ways
Yeah.
in terms of career and even financially and in those ways. What is your kind of view on that? Like, are you somebody that, let's just say you were randomly dating someone or your sister or whatever. Let's just say someone was making more than you and she's a woman and she's taking
Can't
care
have
of
that. I'm joking. Sorry.
You can't what?
I'm joking. It's a joke.
No, but like,
toxic joke.
what's
innit?
your, no worries. Like,
Yeah.
what is your view on that? Like,
What
on
if I'm-
women being, on playing certain roles that we might traditionally see as like more masculine, like the back in the day you have the guy takes care of this and he does this and he leads the household in this way. Are you comfortable as a man to allow a woman to do certain things that might be viewed as more masculine, like pay for, like earn more or pay for a bill or
I'm
whatever?
like, if you earn more, that comes with a sense of responsibility. Like, is what it is, isn't it? I'm old school. I feel that men do this, women do that. Each their own. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is what should be done, because every household's different. Like,
Yeah.
I've been, you hear people like, oh, men shouldn't cook. I grew up in a house that my dad cooked sometimes. I grew up in a house my dad cleaned sometimes. Like, people help out. Like, you're a team. This is not, something. So, for me, do what works for you. But I would say have roles. I can't. For me, I'm quite binary. I need to know what I need to do. I can't. If you tell me that, oh, I'm taking out the bins, and then tomorrow you're taking out the bins, I'm gonna be a bit confused. I'll be like, that's me. That's what I'm meant to do. Like, if you take that away from me,
Okay.
what am I doing now? Like, you've taken
Yeah.
that role. I'm a bit confused. Where do I place in this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times as a man, it's hard in this day and age, is finding your purpose. As a guy, you need to feel wanted. If there's a problem, like Mila said, my role is I'm going to solve it.
So when you don't feel wanted, what do you think that leaves? What
I go
feeling?
to where I need to be wanted. So if I'm not wanted at some place, then I go to where I go to where I'm needed. If I'm not needed here, then I go to where I'm needed. Or I go to where I can feel needed.
So that's like a feeling that you would say you resonate, like you want to feel needed and
It's easy, but that's the thing.
valued
Like, a lot of people don't realize that's all guys need. We just need to feel needed. Like, I'm sure if you get to a guy and be like, oh my days, I need some help. What you need help with, babes? That's it. That's
Some, I don't know, Wheeler, what have you experienced? Come on.
I'm sure that's
right.
it. I'm sure that in a nutshell, that is so it. If you just know,
It's that simple, yeah?
is that if you wanted to get a guy and you're like, he's good at A, just ask him to do A. And he'll be like, oh my days, like, obviously he'll be like, oh my days, you can't do A. And you'll think to yourself, I can do it.
I have to agree.
I can do it, but I'm just asking you just to do it. That's all you need to do. If he's like, oh, I can paint walls, be like, oh, babes, can you paint the walls for me? He'll be like, oh, I don't want to, but you know, I'll do it just because you can't. And you're like, I can paint walls, but I'm just asking you to do it in your head. He's gonna feel gassed.
I think I agree to some extent. Some guys, it depends on the relationship that they've got with the girl.
Yeah,
Because it's
obviously.
like, you know, they're not going to go all out for
Yeah.
everybody. But I feel like if you do ask a guy, and it doesn't even have to be like a relationship, it could be like friendship.
Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like they do show up in that sense. In many ways, I feel like vice versa, like girls will show up for each other too in different ways for different things. But like that sense of needing to be wanted or needed, sorry, not wanted, but needed, like you said, is interesting to me because it's like, I don't know, like what happens, like you said, you'll go somewhere else.
Yeah,
If
I
something
thought-
if you're not feeling needed in a specific place.
Yeah.
But like where, like, do
Where
you
you
feel
going?
like,
I'm taking
I was gonna ask like in relation to like, because obviously you said you're the oldest.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with your siblings or in your families, like growing up,
Yeah.
that was the dynamic for you, or even with your dad? Do you feel like his dynamic towards your mum was that sense of like he must be the person that's needed to fix this or to do that or to resolve this?
100%. It's like, it'd be like,
And did you admire that more in that sense, or did you feel like that's not how men should be?
no, it just felt so natural. It just came natural. It was like, I'm an older brother. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take care of my younger brother.
Did you feel like a sense of like, yeah,
yeah, it felt good. It felt like, it'd be like something simple. So even when I was growing up, it'd be like, my mum would be like, she's getting ready. It'd be like, oh, can you help me, you know, get your brother ready? And then that slowly was like my role. I'd be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna get the clothes. Mum, what else does he need? I'm gonna get my brother ready. And it was just like, eventually it was just like, my mum would even like be part of that. She'll just leave it to me. Be like, oh, can you just help get your brother ready? Like, we're going to church or whatever, or we're going out. Can you just help me with that? I'd be like, yeah, fine. That's cool. Or I see my dad, my mum come to him and be like, oh, my mum would be like, oh, I want to change the sitting room. Can you help me move settees around? And it's like, all right, I need you to pick up a settee.
Does it need to be like, I need you to do this?
No, it wouldn't have to be like a vocal need, but you're asking me to do something which is in like my realm. Like, I'm not just waiting around. I'm not just doing nothing. Like, I have some sort of purpose. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So in relation to going back to like going somewhere else that you needed, would
Yeah.
you question what that person needs before going somewhere else? If you see that person needs something, would you ask them if they need that support, or would you
Wait,
just,
if I'm not, wait.
if they haven't vocalized, okay, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
Say for instance, Malonga needs your help with something, but you know you can resolve the situation. You see it,
Yeah.
but would you say to her, "Oh, do you know I can help you with this?"
Yeah.
Or would you let her kind of just
Suffer.
No, I'll help you. If I've got
Yeah.
a friend and I see they're suffering, I'll be like, look, I can.
suffering?
Yeah, but you said suffer.
I didn't say suffer. She said suffer.
You know, yeah, but
This
whatever.
is necessarily suffer, but like, yeah,
If I
yeah.
see a problem that is developing, I could be like, oh, I can help you. I can help you with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if Malonga goes to me, no, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm gonna back off. I'm
yeah,
gonna
okay,
go
okay,
somewhere else. Why would I forcibly start helping her? She said no. She doesn't need my help.
Yeah, and you know what I'm hearing though in your story, like when you're sharing certain things, you're so fortunate to have those two examples.
That's true.
And
What?
to have
your
to
mum and
have
your
your
dad.
dad present, like a father figure for a man is depends on who, you know, obviously your dad could be another way or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that is also where it starts as well. Like having a certain structure or having that example as a man probably helps, right? Because
It's
yeah,
hard. It was
yeah.
hard. Like, not to get too personal, but my dad didn't have his dad, but that's because his dad died. So he was just like really young, and he was just like, wasn't like, he was just like, I'm gonna be there for my sons as best as I can. And
Yeah.
obviously, if life gets in the way, then it gets in the way. But he was just like, from early, you know, tell us we got to do certain things. If my mum said she needs help with moving certain things, so physically things, I was to move it. Like stuff like, I brought in the washing machine from the shop. I had to bring in a TV from across the road and stuff like that. Physical things that my mum wasn't capable of doing. Even to this day, I get called, like, I'll say once a week, my mum will call me for something maths related, but like, oh, can you help out this student, or can you answer this question? It makes me feel nice, but I'm just like, oh, whatever. And I just like, I quickly just do it, and I'm like, all right, this is what they need to do.
Oh, because your mum's
Good to know
a
that you're
teacher as
teaching.
well.
Yeah,
so-
obviously makes sense.
Yeah, so, you know, my mum knows that I need to be needed. She does it to, you know, my siblings. They get called up for everything. Like, we all have a brotherly group chat, like, you know, mum's bugging. She asked me to do this. But deep down, I know they feel good about
Feel
it.
good about it. They're like, yeah, I can tell them.
The only thing I don't feel good about is like when you help your parents out with new technology, and you're like, this is not gonna end well. Like,
Yeah.
please don't call me for this.
Patience, yeah, the
Please
patience.
don't call me.
It's a patience.
It's
journey.
horrible, man. Like,
Yeah.
the other day I had to help my mum write an email. It's like, how do you not know? How to write?
Oh my god, it
So-
be like that. It really, yeah. With my mum as well, she's like, you know, and now, you know, because you can speak into the laptop, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I leave my mum with the laptop, and I just hear her saying, when is the next flight to, you know, like I just hear she doesn't
that's
talk
my
like
mum.
that. But she, instead of typing,
Amazon. No, not Amazon, to the
Alexa.
Alexa,
Yeah.
now that they know that they can speak, my mum's like, I ain't typing nothing.
Nothing.
So
I know.
I just hear it in the room.
Typing
Like,
The worst with the Alexa is they don't know Alexa's name. It's just everything but Alexa. You're like, there's-
Alexis.
It's got, yeah, it's stuff like that. You're like, please,
Yeah,
just call it
Alice.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh man, there needs to be Alexa that doesn't respond from their name. Just be like everything but Alexa.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
hilarious.
funny. Oh gosh.
But yeah,
No, that's interesting because it's like I think in the dynamic and difference to like women and how we, I guess you know I don't want to really say women, but masculine and feminine energy is very different, and I think we need both those things to kind of thrive. But yeah, I get a part of me feels like it's quite lonely though.
it is lonely, 100%. It gets lonely. It's lonely at the top. I'm just joking.
Sorry.
Hashtag patriarchy. You know, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah, I think in terms of lonely, I think you know that's a perception. I think the issue is, I don't know. As guys, I don't think we don't really care if you think it's lonely. Like, and for a lot of guys, I would say if there's a guy that has a hobby, he's probably got a bunch of friends. I feel like every guy should have a hobby. It's one of the easiest ways to make friends. If I was gonna tell a person, yo, if you want to be a guy and you want to make friends, you know, pick a sport, pick a hobby, and you'll
find people.
you'll make friends. I would probably say stay away from online. I have a few online friends, but I don't think they've been as good as like people I've met when I've like done a football club, been at, you know, different like track and field clubs. Like, I've met like some really great people along the way that I would consider my friends, and I think that's one of the easiest. For me, I find being a woman quite lonely. I don't know how you lot meet new people. How would you meet new friends?
You know what? You go.
You go.
You go. Outside of work.
He's like, look, already, how do you make friends?
I know that.
No, because I'm thinking outside of work, like, because I don't really see work people as friends. I've probably got like 3 work friends that I'm close with, but in terms of like knowing them and building a relationship, it is very hard for me to build friends at work. But if I'm doing a hobby, something that is outside of any sort of responsibility, I would say that. And I feel that being a woman, like, where do you lot meet new people that you want to consider your friend, someone you want to bring inside your home?
That's a good question. I think for me, I know this sounds quite spiritual, but it's energy as well.
But where?
And sometimes
Where's the energy?
Where's the location?
Where is the?
Where can you locate energy?
Yeah, where? If you could pinpoint your energy location, because someone's trying to find the energy.
I just walk outside.
Oh,
I'm joking, I'm joking.
I-
And they
next.
come to me.
Rita, you're next,
I
please.
don't really have friends. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I've got
I
friends.
love that. I don't love that for you. I don't love that.
Where are you
No.
meeting these
Okay,
people?
so for me, uni, I've got my uni girls. I've got people who I've kept in my life.
Yeah.
Personally,
I'm saying
I don't
new
think that's
people.
New. I
That's
know,
what
I
I'm
know,
saying,
I know.
New. Say if you're the start
So
from
like
scratch.
work, uni,
No, you're starting scratch now. Like you're just
Today.
You're born yourself today. You want to meet new people.
I think I would go to like events as well.
Events.
I think I would also say like hobbies too.
What event do you not go to?
Like hobbies and things like that. I
Yeah.
would also agree.
I don't know. For me, I'm just like when I speak to girls, I'm like, oh, so what do you lot
is
do
a bit
outside of
difficult.
work? Like, do you have a hobby? And they're like, nah.
We have a life that
do
you
have-
don't understand, and you
I
don't
know.
need to understand.
This sounds
joking.
very defensive right now because it sounds like
Sounds very angry.
yeah,
I wish you the best of that.
right. Because I'm just
Talking
thinking.
about sensitivity.
I'm just like I don't understand. Like for me, I'm just like if I was struggling and making friends, like for guys, it doesn't matter how weird you are in terms of finding a hobby. Like you got men that play Pokemon, they will find a Pokemon club and they will
They'll
make
find
new
their
friends.
people, yeah.
They will find their people.
But you know, for some people, I will say, because I was talking to someone about this recently, and I do think for some people it's a little bit more difficult to make
Yeah.
friends. And for some, it's just a challenge. Maybe they were bullied in school.
But that's what I'm
maybe
s-
the hobby that they have. You know, for some people, it is just a little bit more challenging. I will
All right,
say
let
that.
me say this. I used to work in this all boys school, like testosterone on 1,000.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was teaching a class. This is my best time. I was teaching class. Half the class would just go because they all going to different football academies. So I got like it's that type of school.
Yeah.
I started the most nerdiest club in the world. Do you know a show called Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
I started Yu-Gi-Oh club. I'm telling you, nerds came out the woodworks. They made a bunch
Out
of
the
friends.
woodworks.
Yeah, they were like, we were waiting, sir.
We're waiting for this.
Wait for this moment.
They were like, sir, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
We want to stay indoors.
And these are probably young boys. that
Young
are
boys,
like,
you need that
given the whole
space. You're curating a
macho.
space for people to come together.
Yeah.
in this world, they were the guys.
Yeah.
They were the
macho energy.
Yeah.
Obviously, you
I'm a
had
tough
the-
guy.
Yeah, they're
They-
young as well. Young boys, they like this thing. They're coming together. They're bonding
Yeah.
on it.
No. What I'm saying is, obviously, if they were to go in the playground where they don't want to be sporty, they're gonna feel isolated. That's not what they want to do. Inside, it was like another side I've seen. They were the guys on the outside, but they were inside. They were living their best life.
And they probably performed better in school.
They did. I don't know about that. But
Okay.
they were just, but it was for them. It was just like, I guess, a quote unquote safe space for them to be themselves, and it was like a chance for them to speak to another person that was like them. It was like year 7s talking to year 10s, people
Yeah.
that they would never be seen with. But they were at the end, they were like grateful that I'd created this place for them where they could meet other people like themselves, because they didn't have that. And so for what I'm saying is, I don't know, when I speak to girls, I don't know where you lot have that. Like, if I was
There are things. There are actually
think-
things. There are like.
like book clubs?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
I'm
going to
saying.
say there's a book club. I was actually just about to say there's a book club.
That's what I'm saying.
That my friend from work was telling me about that she goes to.
Yeah.
And I was going to actually go, but I wasn't able to go. But I feel like that's something that would make
Yeah.
people come. But it's not necessarily like each sport is like negated to a gender. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there are girls who are interested in
In football.
No, what was the thing that you were talking
Oh,
about?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
That. I obviously don't know
In
what it
things
is.
that aren't
But
like
yeah.
typically like
Yeah.
girly,
Girly
things.
things.
Okay,
But,
but
like-
what is those sort of things? I just want to know.
Okay,
'cause-
so you said the book club thing.
Yeah, the book
but
club.
also church. So one of my friends recently.
That's true.
She was talking about like a netball club
In
that
Faith.
they're starting at church, and she was like, "Actually, I haven't done it in a while." So
There's
she
tennis-
mentioned that
oh,
to
sorry.
me, and that made me think, "Oh, like actually," because I haven't been to church in a minute. But
that's another story.
huh? That's another story.
That's another story.
But yeah. So even something like that.
Mm.
Also, I just think that sometimes it could be. You know what? I don't know. I've got sisters in it, so they're like my friends. If I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest, you're my friend too, of course.
All right.
But
So how did you
sisters-
two meet?
We met through, so we're both Zambian.
Okay.
So that is basically
How we know each other,
Like
yeah.
it's almost like family friends. And you go to like community parties, like we call them kitchen parties.
Yeah, we used to have those in Caribbean.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not just you
Kitchen
lot.
parties.
Yeah.
All right.
Or like potlucks. Is that what people
No,
call it?
no.
We call it kitchen
parties like
which is
before
a
wedding.
traditional-
For a wedding?
It's
Before
before
wedding.
a wedding, but it's like a similar thing, like a traditional kind of party. where-
Confused.
I'm very confused. What makes it
Either
the
way-
difference?
So when someone's getting married, there's like a lead up of different things that happen.
Yeah.
And one of those
Ceremony,
things is like a kitchen. It's called a kitchen party, and it's all the women kind of gathering together, coming together, and they do this like ceremonial things that
It's
happen,
almost like a traditional wedding.
Yeah,
Oh, fair
It's
enough.
more, but yeah, like
it's the
Zambian.
traditional part of the Zambian weddings.
Oh, because
Basically.
for us,
Yeah.
it was just literally like, it'd be like a bunch of Caribbeans. We would just like get into, like, the men would be in the back garden, the women would just like be in the kitchen, and all the kids be playing. So I've got like a bunch of like play
Right from
cousins.
that, yeah.
So
Wow,
obviously,
yeah.
but nowadays it's very hard doing that. Like,
I haven't heard of these things in a long
Why-
time.
why
I know
would you
there's a
say it's
Zambian thing
hard?
though, like
like
that.
when was the last? I don't remember the last time. Like obviously, I know like my quote unquote play cousins or my cousins that all these people that I've seen, but I ain't heard like anyone reach out and be like, "Yo, you going to so and so's like
Yeah.
getting all the Caribbeans together," sort of thing. I haven't heard that in a long time.
And yeah, that's what I think when people are going through their own personal battle, you don't know what people are going through, but sometimes you get so busy and wrapped up with like what's going on in life that those small moments that you have when you're younger or those little events where you meet people. Because think about how it's probably sometimes a little bit easier when you're younger, it feels like to
Yeah,
just
to
I
meet.
like that hat that you're wearing. Next thing you know, you're like holding hands and you're best friends and then you're playing it. Okay, it might not be that extreme.
How
but-
young are these?
No, it might have been when you're younger. It was.
Yeah, when you're
like, oh,
kids,
do you
yeah.
like playing that? Oh, I
I
like
like-
playing
and then
with
you start
Lego.
playing,
And then my
yeah.
favourite colour. But now it's true. Like when you get older, I don't know what happens. I think life happens and there's distance that is
Naturally.
created. But I sometimes go out of my way if I want to make new friends, which I don't always, to be honest. I think because I've got people in my life that I would say, I would just say that who I have in my life right now, I'm very happy with. So I don't necessarily go out seeking new friends.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying if you had to start from ground
I think
zero,
friends
friends through
start from-
friends, friends through
friends
friends is
through
a good way
friends,
for
events.
oh,
girls.
friends with friends.
Yeah, so
you
like-
lot just rolling the dice.
You know what? We're just improvising here right now. We're
No,
like,
no,
we-
friends
we-
through friends
it
also will
happens.
help. Yeah, because I was
Friends
thinking
through
about like
friends.
how you know Nadej.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then was that?
But then that was more creative. Like,
Yeah.
If you're doing what you love,
I was just thinking about a friend that she knew through me,
yeah.
and then it's like we become friends through friends naturally.
But it's weird because sometimes that's why I think energy. Going back to energy.
Oh Lord, please.
Is-
All right.
Wait, but sometimes
Let her speak. Let the girl speak.
you realize we've got the same friend, and you realize later on because what happened is you were friends with this person first.
Yeah.
And then I became friends with them down the line, and then we clocked that.
Oh, we're friends with the
we
same
know this
person.
person. So sometimes you end up with a group that you're
Didn't
just
realise.
all,
Yeah.
it comes together naturally, and then sometimes you leave your house and you just make a friend naturally.
But you know what? I do agree that I do think
It's hard
that it
to
is quite
explain.
lonely for women sometimes.
I think it's lonely for women. I think
Sometimes I have heard
I've-
women say
I
that
think
it
it's
is
lonely
lonely
for
for
men.
them.
I'm telling you
I'm
now.
just saying
I
that.
I've heard women say
you
that.
feel attacked right now because you can't make new friends like
Oh,
us.
shut up.
You can't make new. I'm just thinking like in terms of like.
Also,
ground-
personal development things. I
yeah,
think
I'm
that's
just
a good
thinking
way.
ground zero. There have been some friends along the way I've met, and it's just come naturally because of a personal interest. We both play for the same football team. You know, I pass the ball to you, pass the ball to me, and then after,
Kick it.
we're kicking it.
We're kicking it.
Or I see a person at the gym, give them the nod. That's it.
I think the gym is the worst place to make friends.
I can agree with that. Sometimes it's hard. You're rolling the dice. It's hard.
You know what? If you want to make friends, just take a risk, take a chance.
Yeah, it's true.
You're out here with energy, so you can't have it all. Just
I wouldn't say though. I do disagree a little bit. I don't think it's just harder for women.
I think it's just hard in general.
I think in general, sometimes people assume like they can look at someone that seems quite bubbly and whatever and think, oh, they've got friends, stuff like that. Meanwhile, they might not be able to open up to some of their people, or they might not be able to trust
That's true.
those people. So it's really about your early childhood, relationships and your relationship with your caregiver, your parent, whatever, that help pave the way for other relationships, I think. Because some people, yeah, it's true, because if you struggle in those areas, like, it's likely that that's going to spill over in different relationships, whether that's friendships, whether that's a romantic situation.
wait. We're still talking about like vulnerability. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like-
I don't think.
I mean, we've gone
I don't
gone
think
around
that's
the
the case.
world, but
I don't think that's the case. Like, I don't think I have to be as open all the time. I feel like sometimes it might be required for me just to be closed off so that someone can be open, or it might be a case of if I if I'm too open and I'm too vulnerable and I'm too, as we say, weak, it might not be what the person needs.
But
You have to assess who you're going to be vulnerable. If it's someone you're
And
meeting
that's
for the
what it
first
comes down
time.
to.
I get
That
it.
trust.
But then you also need to give people a chance to help you in that situation. If you're dealing with something by yourself, because
You
we
might
talked
not need
about
help. You might just want to be... Okay, go on.
no, that's true. That is true. But like, I think that sometimes we don't give people an opportunity to help, and you can be pleasantly surprised. Like, I know that, like, if there was something you were going through, for example, because we go way back as well. So let's be honest. Like, I can sense when you're going through something personally.
No, you can't.
I feel wait.
You can't.
Wait. Because the energy in the air. I'm joking. No. But I feel like I can, because sometimes, I'm not gonna say what, but I can just.
No, say it. I want to know now.
All right,
I want to
cool.
know. I want to know my
Wow,
tell.
okay.
Sometimes I feel like you just go very quiet, and then if I message you,
Yeah.
your responses are very distant. They're not like, I know it's not like the Luke that I'm used to, and it could be, maybe that today he's just tired or he's having a bit of a bad day. But then I sense the pattern. Well, I see the pattern, because then, like, I'm not getting much of a response throughout, like, the rest of the week, or it takes a minute for you to get back to me. Then out of nowhere, you've resurfaced, but I know in that time that something has happened that you just haven't really expressed to me. Now, what I'm saying is, when you give someone an opportunity, to help you, you can be surprised, because let's say in that instance, it might not be just me and you open up a little bit, like, you know what, at the moment, I'm going through this with, like, my dad or my brothers, whatever. I could step in as a friend and show you, step in and help in some way. And then we develop another level of trust or a deeper relationship, because you've actually given me a chance to help you. Same way I could ask, is something wrong or whatever. But if you keep saying no, or you're like, I'm dealing with it because I've already worked out. Because when you were mentioning it, like, it's actually hitting me. It's like, you're almost like working out for someone else, like, you're doing the hard work, like, you're working out what their response might be or what they can cope with. You don't know that.
I don't.
You don't. So you are assuming a little bit.
I am. I am.
The whole way.
I am. A little bit. I am.
And that's what
it's
you
all
had-
assumption. Yeah.
And that's what you might be comfortable with. But
Yeah.
like, overall, not to, like, go on about it. But yeah, I do think sometimes, in terms of, like, linking it back to vulnerability and masculinity and all the rest of what we've been talking about, we need to give people an opportunity to help us, and that will help build trust.
I feel. Okay, before you mic drop.
Before the ego comes in.
Yeah, there's a few things. Yes, we
Yeah.
do have the relationship. I sometimes, for me, I go ghost for the other person. That's because it comes down to, because for the assumption is, like, obviously, if you've contacted me, I'm like, all right, I'm dealing with my stuff. I'm kind of like, all right, I'm gonna deal with it
First, yeah.
I'm gonna deal with it first before I come to you. And then when I come to you, I'm like, I'm okay. And majority of the time when I come back, you're like, what was wrong? And I'm like, all right, I was dealing with this. And I'm like, all right, I didn't need you to be there in the mix. I just kind of wanted to sort it out myself.
Yeah, you didn't want to be a burden or whatever. But sometimes I think it's okay. And I think men, need to also allow that opportunity. Like, there's certain situations I want to be there for my brother in more ways, and I don't want to hear, like, he's been going through this or this happened, and it's like,
you know what,
like,
it might just, I would say sometimes it doesn't need for someone to do something. You might just need to just be in the room. You don't actually need to say anything. Like, you could just be like, if he's going through something, you could just be like, I just want to turn up, just want to see how you are. Like, that might just all it be. And just you turning up just might know in my mind, this person cares. Like, that leg room, I'm sure is a lot of work. There's a lot of dedication, rather than the easy thing is, like, are you okay? And then I've now got to tell you, I'm not all right. This is what's going on. For a guy, I feel like that's a lot of work. I don't want to have to explain the problem. I'd rather, if I'm going through something and you can sense it, just turn up. But like, I just want to catch up. All right, I just want to, meet up. If you want to be there for your brother, just, showing up is a lot for people.
Yeah.
Second point.
Go on. Go on. Go on.
I feel that obviously, like you said, giving people the opportunity, building trust. I think it building trust is a hard thing. I don't think you can say, quote unquote, this is what needs to happen for there to be trust. For some people, they build trust certain ways. It might be, I might say something. Can you hold on what I say? I might do something. Can you, are you able to hold on to what I do? Stuff like that. I think that for a lot of people, or with other platforms, they say, oh, this is what trust is. Da 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 da. I feel like for other people, we make our own rules for trust. We trust people in certain ways. So obviously, I feel that if you're in someone's life, there is a sense of trust, and obviously you can build up that trust.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, thank you very much.
Before we do, I just also want to.
Oh no, yeah, sorry.
Say the same to you, because I know you do the same thing. Where you said you check in for yourself. You could also come to us as well. No, I'm just looking at that face to know that you can. You always know you can come to me.
Look at you, don't try it.
This is sisterhood.
I'm just saying, you were solo dolo.
Solo dolo.
No, but I'm just saying, that you can always come to me. I don't know about Luke. But
Probably not. I ain't got room. I'm joking.
But you know what? Like about the I am gonna get to my other point, but I think when you're used to, I know we talk about like the masculine and the feminine energy, but as a woman, when you have to sometimes step into your masculine energy quite a lot, that's where that energy can come from. Like in terms of, I know that for some men, like they say certain things and it's like, oh, a woman's coming across in this way or whatever. And you don't always mean to or notice it. But if you're used to being the one that, like the way you were talking about your brothers and being in a certain role, a lot of women, like if I'm talking from my own perspective, when you have to play certain roles and you don't necessarily grow up in a family that's like, okay, the dad's there, the mum's there, blah, 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 everyone's slotting in or figuring it out. You have to figure it out. And then you might have to be the strong one quite a lot. So that's why I would say like the solo thing happens for me where I'm like just dealing with it and I want to deal with it by myself. And then because I'm used to having to like
play that role.
Yeah, like be
that's
strong.
Fine. No,
but that's why it'd be nice, Anyways, I'll give it, the
yin and yang. That's
the
basically
yin and yang is needed.
The yin and yang is
so 3 tips, Luke. This is fire round. 3 tips.
3 tips.
Time.
3 tips that you're gonna give, that you would like to give a young man, any guy, for, I would say, making friends, but allowing themselves to be a little bit, you might have answered the friends bit, but allowing themselves to be a little bit more vulnerable. Like, what would you say? Like, stepping into masculinity, what are your 3 takeaways?
3 takeaways. Obviously, I would say for anyone, get a hobby. Hobbies are really great for your mental and for your physical. I think that hobbies are very underrated in terms of they allow you a time just to shut off your brain. Like, a coach back in the day, I used to be with, didn't really respect him, but he said the one thing is like, in these 90 minutes, nothing in the world matters. Like, just turn your brain off to whatever's going on. But these 90 minutes when you play football, we're playing football. Don't think about anything. And I think that's a nice thing to be able to do, is like just have that hobby that nothing matters, where you just able to turn off your brain and just do what you need to do in that sport or whatever you're doing and just enjoy it. And, it's a great opportunity to meet new people like-minded like yourself that are interested in it.
Yeah.
In terms of vulnerability, I would say find what works and find people that you can trust. So, it may be a brother, maybe a cousin, maybe whoever, but, find people that, you could trust, you can lean on, because it's quite important. When I would say as a human race, we're not really designed to be lonely. We do well when we're around people.
Community, yeah.
So, it's good to have that. And the third one, as a guy, it's yin and yang. It's give and take. Know when to be vulnerable, know when to be strong, know when to show a sense of weakness, as they say, or know when to be emotional. It's very important. It's not always good to be strong, because, if you're always strong, you could break very easily. If you're always weak, you're very brittle. You gotta be like the bamboo, like Bruce Lee said. You gotta.
Luke loves his movies.
You gotta be like the bamboo. You gotta be strong when you need to be, and weak and flexible in the others. So it's a duality thing. It's not one or the other. You need to be able to know to pick which one.
Wow, thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you for having me again.
It's been a really
good one.
good conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
We have been M&M Talks.